Donna, can you talk about the kind of catalyst for starting Team Dresch, the band? Or anyone can. I was trying to like still go in order.
Kaya and I were pen pals at the time, and did I have a recording of yours yet?
You had like my solo stuff.
Yeah, so I was just like, I can tell that I like what she's doing.
Aww.
I mean, it wasn't like exactly. I was like,
You're like, not exactly
I can make
right.
It could work.
I can make that a little grungier, a little punk, more punk.
So we were pen paling, and I think that you came and played in Olympia, and then we hung out there, and we like definitely bonded for real. Then literally just like a couple weeks later, I think that's when Hazel came by, and Hazel was playing in the backstage of the Capitol Theater in Olympia, and then Jody and I basically were just like, bing. They were like, I know you, like. We just instantly bonded right then, and she was definitely saying like, I want to be in a band of all lesbians.
Brady, who I've mentioned, he worked with Donna at the Smithfield.
Yeah.
So he was like, you have to meet Donna. She was walking through the alley in Olympia. And I was like, Donna from Danger Mouse? Because I had like learned her bass line to practice the bass. She was like, why, yes.
And then Jody and I were instantly just like, we can't be away from each other. We have to be together all the time. Let's get Kaya also. And then Kaya said yes. And then that's it, right? Bye.
So you guys like had instant chemistry
to date. I don't remember how the actual. Did I come to an Addicted show and did you say, do you want to play music with me and Donna? Standing on the stairs?
More my memory.
Okay, well.
Is that we had already, Donna and I had already talked about playing music together, but you and Donna had already talked about playing music together.
Yeah,
and then I talked to you last
that's what happened.
Okay, so you
at a
guys,
Hazel
yeah,
show.
You guys
or
talked
Addicted or
and
Hazel.
we talked and then you guys
Addicted played with Hazel.
Yeah, you guys. Yes,
we?
I think we did, but
I
I think that we talked about this at only an Addicted show because I don't think Hazel was playing because I just remember it being for me mellow or like I was just hanging out. I remember like you were singing and I'd come into the room and then I'd go out and walking around and I do remember like where I was walking when I was like, I could sing with that person.
Wow.
And then later that night we were walking down the stairs and you were like, Donna, and we should play music together.
I was super shy. I was 19. How was I even in that club?
When did you guys?
It was all
that's
ages.
really
it was X-Ray?
Yeah. No, it was like the Pine Street or whatever it was called.
Oh, it was all ages. Yeah.
Where were you? When
I don't know where I was.
Marcel was probably at a Calamity Jane show.
I was in a band called Calamity Jane at that time.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you gonna interview?
I will. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, I want to interview everyone.
Gilly.
No, but I was just like.
Yeah, Gilly's pretty.
That you were in that.
Yeah. I was also very young. I was like 19, 20, 19. That's how we played with Addicted, I think.
I love
Eugene.
Calamity Jane too.
And then we played with Hazel a bunch, and that's how we met. Jody, we was at a Reed show. And we played with Hazel at Reed, right?
You guys,
or maybe we were just playing.
It might have just been Calamity Jane.
And Jody came up and was just like, "Wow, this drumming and show me this part. Oh my god, that's amazing!" And I was just like, "I don't know. I'm so scared. I'm overwhelmed."
And that part.
Yeah,
I
and
remember.
then I was
Come
like,
on,
"Buy me a beer.
7-Eleven.
Can you buy me a beer?" And then we talked, and then we're like, "Yeah, let's play." You know, somehow it was just like, "We want to do this. Let's do it."
And wait,
Or maybe no, maybe we didn't talk about that then. No, we just talked about music.
Yeah, because I don't even.
Because I was still in
probably
Calamity
wasn't
Jane.
in Team Dresch then.
No, I
when
was
we
still in
first
Calamity
met.
Jane. Yeah,
I wasn't in.
That's
Team
how
Dresch.
we just met. Yeah.
But then, as soon as we started doing Team Dresch,
They were like,
they said I played drums at first in Team Dresch, and I was just like, I actually don't want to play drums. I don't like. I love playing drums in Hazel. It happened. It's an accident. I'm getting a little better, but like, it's not. I really want to sing, and it's more fun to stand up when you sing. And so then we started to look for a drummer, and I'm sure I suggested Marcel.
yeah, because you had a couple. We had Teddy and we
Yeah.
had a couple different folks.
And how?
And then you
like,
suggested me.
What was the
Scotty.
Which one of you said that
Oh,
it was
Scott.
important that you wanted to start an all lesbian?
All
band?
of
I mean, I
us.
think we all wanted to
All
play
of
with
us.
Dykes.
All of
Yeah, I
us.
think that was the initial feeling. That yeah.
And when you started playing, how did you like fit into the music scene? What was the kind of immediate reception?
I thought it was pretty sweet.
You're in the Northwest?
Yeah.
I mean,
The
I've
loving
been playing
arms.
in bands for forever already, and so I already was like in this music scene, and so was Jody, and so was Kai,
and so was
Marcelo.
Marcelo.
So
Yeah,
we're
we-
already like in the
Yeah.
scene. We're just like all came together.
It was like a super group.
It
Like
was.
It's like Bradgelina.
Yeah.
Is that what is that? I'm not
They're
even
not
saying it
together
right.
anymore. They haven't been
Yeah,
together
it's
for a
not-
I'm
while.
not
That's
even
like
saying it
20
right.
years ago.
I know, but I just watched
It's
Forrest
like-
Gump.
Sophie
okay.
Turner.
I live in the-
You just
Joe
watched
Jonas.
Forrest
I'm
Gump.
kidding. I mean,
Really?
I do live in the 90s.
But yeah, it was just a lot of love immediately. I mean, like our first official show, wasn't it with Lois at La Luna or something? I don't even remember.
Just
Yeah, we
you
played
all.
2 before.
What's the name?
Yeah, I don't
Two, three
know,
before.
I don't remember. But yeah, it was
It was
just,
a whirlwind.
Super
That's all I
fun.
It was just
remember.
super fun. Yeah, it was
fun.
just
Fast.
Right out of the gate.
Can you talk a little bit about, I just know that a lot of bands, in hindsight, from from this area get kind of like lumped into the Riot Girl category, like retrospectively. So you guys were known as like this really important queercore band, sometimes Riot Girl. I want to know how you identify yourselves as musicians and as a band.
Who wants to do that one?
Queercore
I think
resonates
queercore.
with always resonating more as if you're gonna have to put us under a label of whatever, that I like that one best.
Yeah, I feel like back in the day, like when we played shows, that always had to be either all ages or advertised as a queer show, so that the bar, like if we're in a bar or like not an all ages space, that it would feel safe for queer people, so they would explicitly know, come, this is for you. But like I don't remember using queer core on that
No.
word wasn't used
No, we
really
never did.
yet. It was never, right?
No,
It was
that's a thing from now.
That's a thing
Yeah.
from now, right? So, but like, and it was kind of the same for like we never used the term Riot Girl for ourselves. Now Melissa, who's not here, who's our other drummer, she was in Riot Girl New York with like Evelyn McDonald, and I heard they were like a really queer Riot Girl crew. So they felt like it was really queer. Also, like for me, I always felt a little bit like Riot Girl wasn't big. Like it felt straight to me. But I know that it wasn't, for everybody at all. But just so, to me, it was definitely more like we're just on the queer side of things. But also Riot Girl, I feel like was the similar, like, it's not like it said Riot Girl on posters. Like when we'd play
No,
shows
that's
with all
also
those
a now
bands.
thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of in retrospect thing. So the way that I've recently, when I think about Riot Girl now, this many years later, just in terms of being lumped in that category, I'm just embracing it. Because even though it was not what we were, or I'd just rather be included than left out. And I just feel like there have been a lot of things that we've been left out of because we're not Riot Girl, but Riot Girl just means like feminist punk of that time period. And we played with all those bands all the time. We were totally at the like white hot center of that. We had labels that put out all those records. So like when someone does something about Riot Girl and they don't include us, it doesn't feel good, So now, but also now, like for other people who just ask about my band, maybe they're not into music, they don't know what kind of thing. I'll just, if they say, oh, is it Riot Girl? I'll say, have you heard of Riot Girl? They'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, it's like that. Because that's just, they don't care about the minutia of the differences of genres, So I'm just trying to like go with the flow of history a little bit and be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Riot
do you
Girls.
think you're left out of Riot Girl because of the queer
Yeah.
label? I mean, that
Yeah.
just seems to happen no matter what kind of music it is. If there's
Yeah.
Oh,
Erasure.
Like,
there's a separation. There's
It's erased. Yeah,
yeah.
there's some. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can be.
But I could see how also it's like, if I were writing a book about Riot Girl, it's like, well, we don't identify as Riot Girl, right?
Right, so we
then it's
make
like,
that.
well, that's it. But at the same time, it's like, but Riot Girl means like feminist punk of that time. So it's like, what do? Like we are that.
it's more that just like queercore gets left out of the bigger picture
Yes.
than anything.
Right.
Like it's like you hear about Riot Girl, you don't really hear about
really hear
queercore,
about
but they were
queercore, yes.
both. If you want to have them be like two separate things, even though they had so much overlap that
Yeah.
you shouldn't really separate them, but they get labeled as separate, and like everybody was in it together, at least theoretically, as a political movement. So so everybody influenced each other hugely. I mean, like Donna was the grunge queen of Olympia for like everybody was influenced by Donna. I mean, it's like all the
Yes.
so anyway, that's where it's like it gets kind of erased or like pushed aside. It's like that's the uglier side of history there. I mean, I don't think it's ugly. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's just
beautiful.
It's just what happens.
Gorgeous.
It's not it's just you can see it. You can see how it happens. Like
Homo-
it's just a more
homophobia.
complicated. It's a more complicated story, and so I can see how it gets separated and then removed and erased. It's easy to kind of see how it happens, but it would be good that if it didn't happen.
We weren't quite as glamorous looking though in the like, or we didn't like do like a press. We should have not talked to the press. That gets them. That always makes them watch them more.
Yeah.
They would just be like, fine.
I know exactly. We don't want to talk to you actually.